Hello there. It's April 21st, 2020. My name is Joe Weston, and we're here for our um, online global community for lasting peace. We've been gathering for quite a while now on Tuesdays, for almost 2 years now, and now on Fridays as well. And the purpose of what we're here to gather for is we're creating a community from around the world. And I always say to weave a golden web around the world of lasting peace. And we use this bizarre, strange, modern medium called the World Wide Web to do that. And we can spend hours, at least I could spend hours, complaining about how the World Wide Web can be used in ways to harm and to create breaking and distancing and othering and more polarization. And that we're finding now with many things, with what's currently happening with this pandemic, is that we're becoming very creative, and things that were challenges have turned into things that were obstacles have turned into fun, creative challenges, and that we're finding new ways to reframe not only what we're doing and how we're using things, and how we're not only how using things, but how we're addressing ourselves, how we're addressing each other's, and how we're being creative in all ways. So welcome. For those of you who are here, there's a couple of things I want to say today and then get us into our practice. So for those of you who are here for the first time, it's really lovely that you're here. What we start is I do a little talk just to get us in the framework of the practice and setting a motivation. I lead you in a practice, and then afterwards we get a chance to reflect. So I've been thinking a lot. What I want to do today, it's April 21st, 2020, as I just said. Tomorrow happens to be Earth Day. So I thought it would be interesting to just take a moment to honor that. And what does that mean? And in the past, it's something that, that it's great that we honor the earth. It's great that kids get to draw pretty pictures when they went to school and did crazy things like that. And that's when people can get into their higher way of thinking about things and saying how great it is, the planet and everything. But how are we really honoring the earth? And I just want to bring that up because we're in a situation where we get an opportunity to do that in a way that we never thought we could. And I want to bring that into the context. Some of you know that I've been writing a new book called Fierce Civility, Reviving the Global Heart. That's the title of it. And it's basically looking at what has happened. Let's put it in the past now because we're in a totally different world. What is the world system? What was the world system that created what we're in now? And I can go in, again, another hours just explaining that. That's why I'm writing a book about it, so I can just get it out and hopefully share with people and be in discussion with people. But the thing I want to bring up with that is that in this idea of seeing the human family as a heart, and that the heart was not well, and is not well in a sense. And that it's interesting. So, and the idea for me is that it's because the world system has created such a sense of polarization. And oftentimes we think of polarization as a part and it's frenetic. But actually, when you think about it, what the polarization has done, like two rams pushing into each other, it's created a sense of standstill, stagnation, not necessarily movement. If there's movement, as you know at this work, if there's balance and flow, there's always an opportunity for new solutions. There's always an opportunity for reconciliation and healing. But when we get into polarization, we get stuck in this thing. And if you just think of two rams butting heads like this, all that energy is pushing and it's not being used for anything useful except for holding on to their mission to push forward. And if you think about it, if a ram is doing this, their view is very myopic and they really can't see a broader perspective. And that's what a lot of us have gotten into in the extremes in various ways. And the whole book of Fierce Civility, the whole methodology is to help us find ways to break out of that so that we can see things in a new way. We can find ways to understand how we are contributing to the polarizations and shift that within ourselves and have the skills and courage to reach out to those who are different. Because as I've said before, it's only in that way that we're going to come up with new solutions. And this pandemic has helped us to see it in a huge way. The interconnectedness, the interdependence we have. So on some level, all of the work I've done, all the writing I've done is going to have to be reviewed and rewritten in a way to meet the current times. But I bring that up. The interesting thing about it is that when I talk about the global heart and that it's not well, I use the word in Dutch. For those of you here who are from Holland, you'll know that the word for cardiac arrest in Holland is stilstand, which literally translated back to English is stand still. So in a sense, it's an interesting thing to look at, is that that's what cardiac arrest is. That's when the heart is not functioning, when the two chambers, right, polarity, the two chambers are not working together. There's a stillstand, it's standing still. And what can we do to revive that? Well, think about it. We are currently in a standstill. So in a sense, the global community, the human family is in that moment of the heart of the human family is in a standstill. The question is, what are we going to do to come out of that when we come out of that? What's the defibrillator? What's the thing that's going to shock us back into a renewal, a revival of how we approach things? And the fierce ability is, how can we be fierce in our commitment to approaching all things within ourselves, others, and situations from the heart? So that's a summary of fierce ability. I bring that up in the context of Earth Day, because here we are on this planet in this stillstand, in this standing still. And how can we honor that? And I want to bring that in to just consider is what brought us here. A lot of it has to do with how human beings have treated the planet. Now, this is my viewpoints. You might have different viewpoints, and you're allowed to have your viewpoints. But I wanted to just bring in, when you are considering, if you are considering honoring the earth at this time, to consider, I remember reading facts somewhere that, think about it, if all worms were eliminated from the planet, within 2 to 3 years, all life would just cease to exist as we know it. If all insects were to be eliminated from this planet, same thing. All life as we know it would be eliminated from this planet. If all human beings were eliminated from this planet, the planet would flourish. We are not contributing anything to the well-being and the health of the planet. It's great we're here. I'm pleased that I'm here. There's a lot of benefits for being here, but think about it. I would say that that would be a very humbling and way to approach Earth Day this year, is to think that we're not even needed for this planet to flourish. And that what's happening in the world, you could say it's not the climate change, the climate crisis isn't necessarily, yes, it's because of human beings, but I would say it differently. It's not human beings that have caused the imminent pain of this planet, it's human arrogance. And that it is something for us to consider. It's our arrogance to think that we are more important than we think we are in the grand scheme of things. Now, yes, we are important. We have a function. We can do things that other creatures can't do. We can, in our evolution and all of that. But in relationship to the planet, to consider our arrogance around that. I think it was Muhammad Ali, but you never know because it could have been, but it's a great quote, but basically, which I want to bring in to kind of sum this up, which is, service is the rent we pay for having the privilege to have a space on this planet. And that that we have gotten away from that. That's the arrogance of it. That's the illness, the not wellness in the heart, is that thousands of years ago, human beings did have an appreciation for Mother Earth and was in service to Mother Earth, as the worms are, as the insects are, and was grateful for the gifts that they received through food and shelter, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to bring that in, and that's what the fierce ability work is. That's what the lasting peace work is that we are cultivating ourselves as how can we be of service in a more impactful way for what is emerging on this planet and is emerging at this time. And we're now in the incubation phase, clearly. I mean, if you wanted to, can't get it hit over your head any more than what we're in now. And in a sense, what part can you play in that? In devoting some time and attention and energy that you have in your thoughts and your words and in your actions to be of service, not only to yourself, not only to your loved ones, not only to humans, not only to creatures, but to the planet itself. And I would just like to offer that that might be an interesting way to approach this Earth Day. I'm going to do my best with humility to see what I'm currently doing and what else I can do to increase my scope of influence and impact. So with that, I'd like us to take a breath and get us back to our, introduce the practice. I want to change it up a little bit just to get us, for us to incorporate some of the more body work to this, to the more physical aspects of this, to get the body ready for meditation. So I'm going to bring in some of the stuff we've been doing in the Resilience Day on Fridays for Lasting Peace Community. So I'd like you to sit and remember in this exercise, it's an invitation. You don't have to do any of it. You don't have to do all of it. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. It's simply about finding your way with this and cultivating within yourself a deeper capacity of fierce compassion in your heart, to hold more beings in your heart with ease, and to cultivate a deeper level of resilience in being able to step up if you choose to be, as we say, the midwives or nurturers or protectors on this planet at this time for a system that is dying away and a new system that is being birthed, that is birthing. So, so sitting in a way where your spine is straight, if you're sitting on a chair or a cushion or the floor, doesn't matter, but just making sure that you can stand where you're not leaning back so that you can have the most flow happening through your spinal cord, your nervous system. Remembering that the key to fierce compassion and to resilience is presence, awareness, balance, and flow. So again, sitting in a way where you, and just taking a moment to notice, we're gonna do a little inventory of the present moment for you to check in, bringing our awareness to our center, which is in our lower bellies. For those of you who are here for the first time, the way to identify that from the system that I use is it's approximately the width of 3 fingers below your navel and 1/3 of the way into the body. So if you put your fingers together, you place your index finger over your navel where your pinky resides. That's approximately the width of 3 fingers below your navel. From that point, putting your full attention on that point. From that point, bringing your awareness now inside of your body, about 1/3 of the way from the front of the body. Take a nice deep breath into that spot, into your lower belly, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Noticing the parts of your body that are connecting with the floor and with the chair. And as you bring your attention to your center, your core, in some of the traditions I've studied, Tai Chi, Qigong, and others, you can also see your core as a battery. That's just like you can charge it up, to see it as something that really, you can charge up your battery, and that can help you get through the day with more resilience, to be able to get your tasks done more effectively without burning out. And like your phone, where we compulsively look at our phone to make sure we have enough battery on it. We specifically, if we know we're leaving the house, we wouldn't possibly want to be out somewhere without our charger and an empty battery in our phone. If we can bring that same compulsion to our own body and our own being, and checking in to see how much our battery is charged, just take a moment right now and just from 0 to 100, just noticing how charged is your battery right now. Could be 10%, could be 90. Take a deep breath when you've come up with your answer. It's not a quiz, so you don't have to worry about being quizzed on this. Just take a breath, just an assessment. And before we start, Tom says 100. Oh my goodness. Anybody want to share? Just type in real quick where your battery's at. Can you put it like in a battery pack and FedEx that to me, Tom? 90 from Ev. 73, 60, 36, 90. Keith says that it's Shirley Chisholm. Wouldn't be surprised. Service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on this planet, on this earth. 42. Great. Again, there's no right answer. So 90. Great, Peter. So 40 from Alex in Milan. So before we get started, just make sure the body's ready for this as well. Let's just do a little shaking. Shake your hands. If you don't want to do this, don't do this, but it's just nice to get the body prepared for the mental. We're doing a lot of mental work with the meditation. Keep shaking. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Shake through into your elbows. Shake it into your shoulders, into your head, into your torso. And if you're feeling courageous, make a sound. Shake your pelvis. And if you can, shake out your feet as well. Keep the whole body shaking as your head and your jaw. Keep it shaking, and come back to that to stillness. Sitting in a way where your spine is straight, focusing in your center, and just notice the benefits of what you've just done. Maybe letting energy flow through you, getting blood or the sensation of having more blood in your extremities. Emotions might come up, let them out. Yawning might happen. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Bringing awareness again to your feet on the ground and the parts of your body that are connecting with what you're sitting on. And with each breath, as you exhale, just allowing gravity to bring you closer to the chair, to the cushion, to the floor. Using these points as contact points that remind you that as an anchor point of your connection with your surroundings. And the message for your nervous system that you are held. And staying as still as possible, being aware of again, of balance and flow, coming into presence, beginning with yourself. So from your center, become aware of your physical body. No judgment, simply observe, notice. Actually, all you're doing in this exercising is cultivating a deeper aspect of listening. Learning to listen to the cues of your body, the wisdom of your body, learning its language. From your center, become aware of your emotions, your emotional body. Without judgment, observing and noticing with curiosity the emotions that are flowing through you right now or you're present to. And with an easy, spacious breath, maybe inviting them or giving them space to flow through you, move through you, be expressed. From your center, become aware of your thoughts. Really focusing, particularly for those of you who've been doing this for a while, to really practice that you're connecting with your center of a place of awareness in your lower belly. And that part of you, it's a part of you that's aware of your thoughts. To develop a deeper, more intimate relationship with that part of you. And maintaining a connection with your center of awareness and personal power. Bringing awareness now to your heart, or the middle of your chest, where your heart power resides. Compassion, respect, dignity, connection, understanding. And from both your center, your personal power, and your heart, becoming aware of that part of you that has access to or might connect to something larger than yourself. In this present moment, what's your level of awareness and connection to that part of you that might have connection to something larger than yourself? And when you connect to that part of you, just noticing, are you connected to something larger than yourself at this moment? And if so, how much? Allowing energy to flow and emotions to flow. And with more of an awareness of yourself in this present moment, from your center and from your heart, take a full breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And with more of an awareness of yourself in this present moment, from your center and from your heart, keeping your eyes closed, become aware of your surroundings. How can you cultivate a more intimate relationship with your surroundings from your center and from your heart? Sounds, smells, in all directions, behind you, above you. Considering how your surroundings might be influencing you at this moment. And with more of an awareness of yourself and your surroundings in this present moment, from your center and from your heart, take a full breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now with more of an awareness of yourself and your surroundings in this present moment, from your center and from your heart, become aware of all of those in this meditation circle currently on this call. Perhaps those who are thinking of us who can't be on this call. From your center and from your heart, with a more stronger awareness of yourself and your surroundings, now reaching out, connecting with those in this meditation circle from various parts of North America, various parts of Europe, perhaps other parts of the planet. Considering how you might be influencing the circle of people right now at this moment, and how they might be influencing you. Allowing energy to flow and emotions to flow. And with more of an awareness of yourself, your surroundings, and awareness of those in this meditation circle, maintaining and holding on to that connection to all three. From your center and from your heart, take a full breath in. And we're expanding our capacity in our hearts and our awareness and our presence, from ourself to our surroundings, to various people around the world in this trusted circle. As we now move to expand our capacity to bring in all human beings into our heart, beginning with those that you would label loved ones. So with an awareness of yourself, your surroundings, and all of those in this meditation circle, now bringing your awareness from your center and from your heart to those that you would label loved ones. Surprise yourself. Who pops up into your heart? You might see faces, you might see groups of people. considering how at this moment you might be influencing them. And from your center and from your heart, becoming aware of all of those human beings on this planet that you would label stranger. Again, who pops up into your heart? Might be healthcare workers at this moment. Might be people who have no capacity for social distancing, living in an apartment with a large group of people. Might be a neighbor. That masked person you saw on the street yesterday. Any one of them. Allowing energy to flow and emotions to flow, and considering how you might be influencing them at this moment. And from your center and from your heart, becoming aware of those human beings that you would label adversary. And again, being surprised by who pops up into your heart at this moment. You might see faces, might be groups of people. Letting go of the need to change, to fix, simply noticing what is your capacity, your level of fierce compassion and resilience to connect with them from your center and from your heart. And how might you be influencing them at this moment? And taking a moment now with an awareness and connection with yourself, your surroundings, all those in this meditation circle, and all human beings, regardless of how you label them as loved one, stranger, or adversary. From your hearts, just what arises in you, a blessing or a wish for them, for all of us. A vision for what could come or what is coming. Might be comfort. And with more of an awareness of yourself, your surroundings, all of those in this meditation circle, and all human beings, from your center and from your heart, take a full breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just taking a moment to do an inventory for yourself. Notice, is there more expansion in your heart? Is there more balance and flow? Just noticing the effects of the practice so far. And seeing if you can maintain, if there is a sense of expansion, maintain that expansion in your heart, holding all beings in your heart. As we bring our focus, narrow our focus. So taking all human beings in our hearts with us as we now narrow our focus back to bringing our awareness from our center and our heart to those in this meditation circle. So we gather together in this circle and we bring all human beings with us and hold them together. Allowing energy to flow and emotions to flow. And now bringing all those in this meditation circle into your heart. Bringing them with you as we bring our awareness back to our surroundings, from our personal power and our heart. Bringing our surroundings into our heart as we bring our awareness from our center and our heart back to ourselves, back to yourself. Taking a moment to show that same level of compassion that you showed others also to yourself. And taking this experience of this practice and your connection and awareness of all human beings those in this meditation circle and your surroundings, into your core and into your heart as maybe a way of filling up your battery, charging your battery. Receive. And once again, doing an inventory of just noticing the effects of this practice, checking your battery and your core. Did the numbers change? Did the percentages change? Just notice what comes up for you. Did it deplete you? Did you run out some of the battery, or did it increase? And as a way to close this practice, let's take one deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Slowly open your eyes, look around. Shake your body, stretch your body. And as always, we started with a motivation. We did our practice. We've done a little inventory. Who would like to share? What was, maybe you have some reflections on what some of the things I said, or some discoveries within the practice, or you may just want to let us know how full your battery is. My recommendation, or my request is that you actually can speak. You can actually unmute yourself and speak. Who would like to share?
Good morning. I'll share a little bit. What comes up for me is just the poignancy of tomorrow being Earth Day, and how at least I perceive the Earth is responding to this current moment. Earth is happy, and I see that in the little walks that I can take up into some of the more natural areas here in the city. The wildflowers just seem to be brighter than they usually are, and more ubiquitous, and the clear skies. So what comes up for me in the meditation today is this sense of possibility for how we can become, with our human behavior, change it in a way that we're so much more in harmony with the planet. So that's what comes up for me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Anybody have a response to that, or something different?
Joe?
Yes, Alex. Ciao.
Yes, ciao. I'm adding to what my friend said before. Is I am astonished by the how fast the Earth is changing, how fast it shows how happy it is. Like seeing flocks of animals crossing the street that you've never seen before, and the smell of the air is completely different here in Livorno, in Italy, and the sky is constantly of a profound blue, and also the sun is very, very, very hot when it's out. It's unbelievable. This is something I thought I would have never experienced in my life. Never.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
When we were in the meditation and we had the entire human family in our hearts, in my heart, I felt a spaciousness and a sense of possibility and compassion that was huge. And in hearing the reflections of what the planet is doing and what we're seeing as response, I think wow, what if we as humans are also in that place of expansion and beauty and flow and reception. So I'm excited about and the mirroring that we as humans perhaps are doing what the earth is doing as well.
Thank you.
I was reading this morning that yesterday Germany recorded its highest ever solar power production because of that clarity of the skies, and it just makes me think too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
echo your point, Shelley, about perhaps there is an opportunity here with this place of clarity for us to receive more than we would normally.
Thanks, Ben.
One gift of this practice that I'm noticing during this pandemic time is that it's sort of a tenderizing process. Like I feel so tender, more tender than I think I've ever felt when I tune into strangers and to loved ones, and even to, I always forget the other word. I know it's
Adversaries.
thank you. just saying the and I don't know that I would even, like, I think I'm aware of being tender anyway, but I don't know if I would be so aware of the tenderness towards strangers and loved ones and adversaries. Mostly I can feel them during this time if we didn't have this reflection together. So thank you.
Thank you, Amelia.
In some ways, this feels like a dress rehearsal for what we're facing in terms of the climate crisis and the opportunity to think about the roles we each play in the play.
Thank you, Barbara. Maybe you're going to get a leading role.
Over to you, Joe.
Yesterday was the 10th anniversary of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. And what you were saying, Joe, in the beginning about humility, to me, that is an opportunity for humility, as all these other good things are happening that we're seeing in the environment. There's a lot that we've done that's not so good. And as we go into Earth Day, I'm coming to that from a place of humility.
Thanks, Ron. Anyone else? Okay. Well, thank you. This is we're here to practice, and we're here to practice in community, and we're here to cultivate this awareness. Question is, again, in this idea of service is the rent we pay for living on this earth. In what ways can you be creative at this time to clarify what your gifts are and how you are of service and to whom? And and if you are doing that, the creativity to consider how can you increase your scope of influence, and that there's always people that to serve. You just need to walk out your door, particularly if in your large urban areas. I would say perhaps not, if not hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of people who could use support at this time. So I honor all of you in my humility and my humbleness. I honor each one of you to take this time out for those of you who come on a regular basis, to be part of this, cultivate this practice, and hold on to this vision of cultivating a vision for lasting peace on this planet and what that means. Keep updated on the revisions and of the Fierce Civility book that's reviving the global heart. I'm in dialogue with the planet and with the world system in terms of how to move forward with that. I'll keep you updated. And once again, every Tuesday to join us, Friday, same time, same link. Tell your friends about this if you feel this will resonate for them. And if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with us at respectfulconfrontation.com. So bringing everyone good wishes for this time, good wishes for tomorrow on Earth Day. Let's take one final breath to close the practice. And be well. And see you this week or see you next week.
Mhm.